Welcome to JSA TV, where we're covering the latest news, trends, and innovations from thought leaders like these handsome devils to my right within the digital infrastructure space. And we are coming at you live, guys. So we are live. So, you know.
Oh, my God. I'll try to. Well, we'll try to behave.
Okay. We are coming at you live from PTC 2025 in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. We've got a lot to talk about. So I said handsome. That's not what I meant. To my right, I have Nabeel Mahmood and Phillip Koblence, both Nomad Futurists.
Nomad Futurists. Yeah.
The two of you. Let's talk about that. Nomad Futurists. Because I'm hearing a lot about Nomad Futurists, but for our viewers that don't already know, maybe talk a little bit about the organization.
All right. So we actually started as a podcast roughly about 5 years ago. And as a matter of fact, the birth of Nomad Futurist Foundation was here in Hawaii at the tropics. And the idea really at that point of time was to demystify technology for the masses, create a platform whereby we encourage the younger generation by sharing our stories to come into our sector to address the human capital deficit. Roughly about 2 years ago, we added on to that initiative. So we are now a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And as a matter of fact, today we just announced the launch of our academy.
Congratulations,
which is going
guys.
to be free to anybody and everybody globally. We are also going to be making another announcement in the next 2 days about the job board that we're going to be launching, and that's going to be connected with the academy. Besides that, we are creating a community platform as well that's all going to be interconnected.
And that's really the goal. The goal is for us to humanize our industry and to kind of provide access to the knowledge of the kind of foundational infrastructure that powers our digital world. So people can see, at worst, they can become better consumers of technology because we're all kind of beholden to it. And at best, we're laying an early foundation for people to come into our space and give us the human capital that we need to deploy the gigawatts upon gigawatts of data center capacity that I'm sure all of your previous guests have told you is about to come online anytime between now and 17 years from now.
You know, we did talk a bit about that, but here's what I love most about what you guys do, and that is encourage folks who don't really know a ton about the industry to learn more, whether they come here or not. Just know what it is that we're doing. Know what happens in those mysterious big boxes on the outskirts of town, because that's where the miracles, the stuff that happens in there is how the miracles outside happen. And I don't think that there's a disconnect there.
I think the
right?
people that run our industry all came into it from other worlds.
Yeah.
So it just happened to be when their professional career allowed for it, or when they came into the workforce. It was at the dawning of the kind of digital age, at the turn of the century. I can't believe I'm old enough to say that.
That's how I started, right?
That's why we look so similar, right at the same time. Which is why you called me handsome.
It's true.
So don't let him lie to you. I am pretty damn handsome. But that's the goal. The goal is to make it accessible. And as an industry, we've always fallen into that security through obscurity trap. And I think what we always say whenever we're speaking to high schools or junior high schools, that anyone born after about 2003, because the iPhone was created in 2007, only grew up in a world in which the iPhone exists and the internet just worked.
Yeah.
And it's not clear, it's not obvious that there is an entire industry around making the internet work.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, I knew that when I picked up the phone and rotated that thing, that that something was going to happen. And then I got into the industry and learned that it was a twisted copper pair, which made zero sense to me. I didn't know how that worked. It's not that industry anymore.
Right. I mean,
It's
can you
just not
imagine if somebody told you in your youth that kids would be addicted to a phone?
It wasn't going to be the rotary phone.
Right. Just like, I can't live without this.
It's amazing. How do you play Tetris on that? I don't know.
Yeah, and so to your last point, I also spoke with iMasons, Courtney Pop, just a moment ago about some of the educational initiatives that they have, where they are formally legitimizing that education. And I know that you guys have some stake in what they're doing there at iMasons.
Absolutely.
Talk about that, please.
Yeah, so we are a strategic alliance partner with iMasons, and that was really a step that both the organizations took to unify the sector.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't want to make much of a noise that we're competing against. Phil always says that the rising tide raises all boats together.
Sounds better in your accent somehow.
It sounds better with his hair too.
Right.
I'm be honest with you.
I'm just gonna step back.
So the charter that we've got with iMasons is that they've got certain focuses like sustainability, climate accord, social accord, whereas we believe that our charter is the education, right?
Mhm.
Education leads into addressing all those challenges. So we're working very closely and diligently with iMasons, Open Compute Project, and a bunch of other organizations in making sure that we create the level of standardization in education and we unify this language, the sector globally.
And that's the goal, not to operate on parallel tracks, but for all of us to get in the canoe together and paddle at the same time, and
Yeah.
then we'll get to the destination faster.
Yeah, I'm glad you said destination because it does feel like that to me as well. And it used to be, and maybe I just had like I romanticize what happened maybe a decade or two ago with regard to like
Dean is a hopeless romantic.
it's true. It's absolutely true. But like the kind of competitive telecom. Remember Comptel? Where everybody was kind of racing one another. And now it doesn't feel like that at all. Now it feels like a bunch of disparate intimately related industry or applications that must all come together in order for anything to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the term of art, co-opetition,
Right.
is incredibly valuable,
Yeah.
and I think given how small our industry has made the world, it's incumbent upon all of us to work together to expand our reach and to make the world a better place.
Well, there isn't an industry that our industry doesn't now fundamentally touch or push forward.
Yeah, even the canoes.
Even the canoes.
Everything is connected and everyone's connected. If they're not connected today, they'll be connected by tomorrow.
Which is another reason why understanding the foundational basis of the internet is so valuable to anyone in any vertical, no matter what their career path is going to be.
I couldn't agree more. Gentlemen, it is always a pleasure speaking with you. Is there any parting comments before we wrap up here?
Well, I think it's going to be a shameless plug. Go to nomadfuturist.org or nomadfuturist.academy and sign up today.
And listen to the Nomad Futurist podcast on your favorite podcast platform.
You guys are great and such an inspiration in the industry. Thank you very much for everything you do.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Happy 20th, Jamie.
Thank you for that. Well, and thank you viewers for watching JSA TV. Stay curious, stay connected, and we'll see you soon.